Thanks for tuning in. Mark and I are about to play the first scenario of the Imperial Assault campaign. I have selected rebel characters mostly at random, and we're just going to see how it works out. We have played the tutorial, but this is our first experience trying the core campaign.
So we will almost certainly make mistakes. I'm in the final stages of choosing my class deck for the Imperials, but as it happens, I don't get XP until the end of the mission, so I'm not going to waste too much time on it now, and we'll decide at the end of the mission which class to take, because it's basically what I spend my experience points on.
Ah.
So
you, as an Imperial, are only one class?
Correct, but in this case, what the Imperial class decks are basically special cards that I can buy and have in play at the beginning of missions that give me special abilities, either persistent or single use, etc. So, great. So here we have the initial setup.
Why don't you read us the crawl?
I will read us the crawl.
I will film you reading us the crawl.
You're really going to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
This is Mark.
Hi. Okay, Imperial Assault. Victory! With the destruction of the Death Star, the rebellion has given hope to a galaxy living in fear. Having lost their ultimate weapon, the Empire scrambles to recover in the face of this crushing defeat. As the scattered fragments of the battle station rain down upon the rebel base on Yavin 4, the Empire sets in motion a plan to seek retribution against rebel forces stationed on the small moon. Not long after, when an Imperial beacon begins to broadcast from an outpost some distance away from the rebel base, a small team of elite operatives is dispatched, their mission to silence the signal at all costs. That is the crawl.
Excellent.
So, here we are at the initial setup. If I'm not mistaken, the first thing to do is for you... Actually, I suppose I'm supposed to read the mission briefing first.
Let's do that.
Arriving at the outpost, you immediately open fire upon the troops standing guard. You suspect they knew you were coming and that you're likely walking into an ambush. All the same, with the signal continuing to broadcast, there just isn't time for a more subtle approach.
Oh, good.
But you go first anyway.
Right, so we're going to go with the Wookiee up front because he is a badass.
Would it leave the token on the map, maybe? Just
I know where it was.
Okay.
I mean, I can deploy it on top of it, right?
Sure,
yeah, I'll just leave that. Okay. This lady is something of a close-range shooter, if I remember correctly. Here we have another melee character. She's a haunted exile, but she's going to get force powers later. And here's our Bothan sniper. He's going to hide in the rear.
So you know that your mission is to shut down the transmission.
By, I assume, interacting with one of these terminals in the other room?
Interestingly, they don't tell you specifically what the mission is, insofar as we don't have... It tells me how you win, but I think it explicitly says in the rules that I'm not supposed to read you anything outside of the text.
It would be convenient to know what the objectives are.
It would be.
I mean, I guess all I know when I land is that there's this transmission coming from this base, this outpost,
right,
and I have to kill it.
Right.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, so you start.
All right, so... Garcon is going to go first.
Okay.
He has an ability to charge, so he's going to take 2 strain out of his 4 endurance, and he moves 4. So let's go. There's no attack of opportunity in this game, which is convenient. 1, 2, 3
Yowzers.
for max adjacency, and then we will attack. Yes. He rolls a red and a yellow on his vibro axe. Oh, I'm sorry. I need to say who he's attacking. He's gonna hit the Stormtrooper.
Stormtrooper rolls 1 black defense die. I don't know how well you can see that on screen, but what you have here is 2 damage, and this cancels out a surge, not a damage, so since she has no surges, it is irrelevant. So 2 damage is done, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct. That's a disappointing result for Garkan.
And because you didn't have any surges, you can't cleave.
Right. I cannot cleave. I need surges for that. So, with my second action, I'm going to attack again. There's a surge. Ooh.
And yet.
And you do no damage.
So it's 2 damage plus a surge. I have 3 damage prevention, and I believe that what we discovered when reading about cleave in the gigantic rules manual, we don't need this, is that you have to do damage in order to do it. So, I see no reason not to activate the Stormtroopers first.
I mean, they're going to be dead by next turn.
That's pretty much what I'm thinking. So, I have 3 Stormtroopers. This one shall go first, since he is almost dead. They are going to attack. I don't have to declare each of their attacks at once.
No, I think you can go in
But
order.
I think we're going to start just by shooting the Wookiee and go from there. We're rolling a blue and a green. So, number 1 here.
Garkan rolls black die for defense. Eliminates the surge and will take 3 damage, right?
3 damage.
Okay. After an attack targeting you is resolved, if you suffered 3 or more damage, you become focused. That is Garkan's rage ability. So, we don't need that, actually.
You're just going to use the token. The tokens are...
Where did the tokens go?
In one of those bags, maybe?
Nope.
Did you not dump them out? Oh, they're here. Sorry.
Fantastic.
All right.
So, on Garkan's next check of any kind...
Next
Except
offensive
for-
check, right?
Right. Or skill check. He will roll an extra green die.
Okay, so we'll leave this card out here just so we remember what it means. Okay, so that was Stormtrooper number 1, who does get 2 actions, but Imperials can only attack with one of their actions. His second action will be to step back.
Really? See, if I were him, I would be stepping behind that wall so I block line us, like, so that I'm out of line of sight
Stepping
of the
behind
shooters.
which wall?
There's a wall right here.
Oh, there sure is.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was not
No,
able to
that's
see that
okay.
with all the dudes. So yeah, he'll go there, blocking line of sight. Sorry, Jedi lady.
Look, that Jedi lady's angry looking. You should be careful not to piss
Okay,
her off.
so what's that blue line?
What is that blue line?
Difficult terrain. So spend 2 movement points to enter a space of difficult terrain. Well, I guess that Stormtrooper is sort of knee-deep in sludge. That doesn't prevent him
Although
from
you
shooting a Wookiee.
And you
So-
could step forward without taking the difficult terrain penalty.
Correct, but I see no reason to do that. Maybe more inclined to step back after taking my shot. So first I'm going to shoot the Wookiee. Okay, that's 1 damage. And 1 surge. So then that is a total of 2 damage. Because he gets 1 surge for +1 damage.
Got it. Alright. Garkan takes 2 more damage.
So he's now at 5.
Yes.
Okay, so yes, he's going to step back here, which takes 2 movement points, but his speed is 4. And then the last Stormtrooper here will also shoot the Wookiee for 3 damage. Defense. 1 damage.
1 damage.
Up to 6. Just for the sake of clarity.
Oh, sure.
Alright, also, he is going to step away. Get a little bit spread out here. Alright, Stormtroopers are done. Tapped. Exhausted.
Right. Alright. Well, that reduces the easy target pool a little bit.
And friendlies do block line of sight. So, I mean, I think that she technically has a shot on him, because you can trace a line to both of those
Right.
points.
However, I believe with her pistol, she would generally like to be a little bit closer.
Yeah. Be 3.
Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and let the Jedi step up. She also has a speed of 4.
Does she also have cleave?
She does not have cleave, but I feel like this way she blocks line of sight pretty well for your officer.
Gotcha.
And also possibly your droid there from getting to the ranged attackers.
Got it.
She's going to start by trying to finish off this wounded Stormtrooper.
Okay.
You know what? She's not, actually. Because I think that both the ranged attackers are going to have pretty good line of sight to him. So, how many hit points do... I guess I can just look. Does that probe droid have?
5.
Okay. So...
He also, with the surge, can recover.
Got it. All right, let's hit this Stormtrooper back here.
The non-damaged one.
Right.
Okay.
She's going to roll a green and a yellow. And...
Sorry, that doesn't count. Okay.
So the surge goes away.
2 damage.
And we do 2 damage. We just cannot seem to finish off these Stormtroopers.
Sort of get the impression 3 damage is hard to come by in a single attack. Alright. So that's your activation, right?
For her, yes.
Okay. Well, probe droid will... Oh, in the demo adventure, you have a red probe droid, which is a more advanced one that is allowed... Oh, actually, it's not the probe droid that was able to attack twice. But at the end of a round, you may roll 1 red die. Each adjacent figure... Oh, yeah, I'm not going to do that. Okay, so he's just going to attack the Wookiee because I believe in focusing fire. So that is 3 damage in a surge, minus 1 damage, 2 damage in a surge. The surge will go to plus 1 damage, so that's 3 damage.
Okay. Too bad he can't become focused multiple times.
And he will step... Gosh. Back to here. And exhaust. Okay.
Alright, so the question is, what are the chances that the Pistolier can hit at a range of 3 without moving up first?
I think there's an additional question on how the terrain is supposed to work, because technically this wall sticks out a little bit from that intersection. 2 spaces separate wall, figures cannot move through or trace line of sight through walls. We knew that. I think we should just make sort of a unilateral rule that in these circumstances you do have a straight line from here to that corner,
yeah,
and therefore can shoot.
It seems to be sticking out kind of artistically the same way that this wall sticks out from this corner, but you assume that the corner of that square is somewhat unimpeded.
Because here they have a diagonal going through a corner working in the example of line of sight.
Okay.
So I think that there's every reason to assume that that's exactly what they're saying, and we're good. So
All
you
right,
do
well,
have line of sight.
I don't know any better, so I'm just going to roll it.
Yeah, well, no problem this time.
No problem. Range of 4. 2 damage and a
greens, huh?
surge. Yeah. So 1 damage and a surge. We'll take the surge for an extra damage.
Which doesn't matter because it's a Stormtrooper with 2 damage on it.
Right, so whatever.
It's toast.
She has Opportunist. After you resolve an attack, if the target suffered 1 or more damage, move 1 space.
Nice.
She's going to come over here.
Nice. So she is targetless, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, she's pretty much SOL for having somebody to shoot. I'm inclined to move her up so she'll have a target next turn.
Or do you want to let the Bothan move up? Because if she moves up, she might prevent him. Well, I mean, I guess he can always move through them. What's his speed?
4.
Yeah.
She's a little bit quicker than he is.
3, 4. He could get to here.
He could get to here.
1, 2, 3, 4.
No, you're right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, so if she comes up here, she's not in the way.
1, 2. Or she could go to here. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah,
5.
but then it's open season on the smuggler.
Yeah, that's true. I have sort of picked the. I mean, obviously you did that on purpose, but the guy that I'm attacking is the guy with the most health.
Right.
Although I'm getting him down there.
She'll take her chances because I think you're going to keep shooting the Wookiee.
Okay.
I mean, he is over there roaring and hacking at Stormtroopers and making a scene.
So you can flip your token then. I am left with my Imperial officer, who will shoot the Wookiee. Because that's what we do in the Empire.
Right before the manacles come out.
Yeah. Okay, that was a good roll. It was 3 hits and 2 surges.
2 hits and 2 surges.
Okay, 1 surge. How's my range? Fine. Okay, so, or my accuracy, I should say. So, we'll do then 3 damage, applying 1 surge to a +1 damage, and the second one will give us focus for next time.
Okay.
So that's 3 more damage, so he's now to 12, correct?
Yes.
Ouch.
Yeah,
Alright.
he's not having the best day.
Okay, Imperial Officer's second action, I think he need not take one. Is there any reason for him to order? Interrupt to perform a move.
You should leave your hand.
Sorry. Interrupt to perform a move.
Well, an interrupt is in the middle of...
It would be right now. My second action could be to give an order,
Oh,
which would
to
allow one
order
of my other
a
models
minion.
to move.
I understand.
The only thing that I could see myself wanting to do with that is to move somebody out here, but that's stupid to do before you've shot, because it just gives you a target. So no, I'm gonna have him pass the second action. So there we go.
Okay.
Your last guy, who I believe actually isn't gonna have a shot
I
on
don't
anybody.
believe so. Well,
yeah,
he does.
Yeah, he does.
He is going to shoot right around the corner at that Stormtrooper.
Yeah, sure.
Because if you take this corner of his square to each of those
Yep, you're right.
corners,
Yep.
he's got it. All right. And he rolls 2 blues, because he's got a long-range weapon.
Roll. Nada.
Boo.
All right, that's the end of the round. So we take round marker and raise the round to 2. I believe I then get threat, although I don't know what I can spend it on in this mission.
What does threat mean?
Threat is basically the points that I have that I can spend to increase the difficulty of the mission. Under many circumstances, that would mean bringing in reinforcements. But I cannot use threat for reinforcements in this mission because I don't have what are called open groups.
What gives you threat?
I get threat every round.
Ah, okay.
Although there are other things that do too in some missions, but not this one.
Got it.
So I think that is all.
Okay.
So unexhaust your
All right.
cards. Roll my cards. Okay. Round 2 begins.
All right, well...
Don't forget that there's a rest action that you can take.
Yes. And it recovers how much strain?
Good question.
And does anything happen when my strain equals my endurance? Or is it just exceed?
Every strain that you get after that is damage.
Becomes damage. Okay.
Heroes can suffer Hero recovers strain equal to his endurance. If he recovers strain in excess of the number of strain tokens he has, he recovers damage. So in your case, you have an endurance of 4. So you would gain lose both strain and recover 2 damage.
Interesting. Okay. Well, he's not the pausing to recover type. He's the raging ahead type.
Yeah.
So he's going to take 2 more strain.
Wow. Okay.
To charge.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Then he's going to attack the damaged. That's a good question. What's the defense style on the commander? He gets a white. That's bad news.
Yes, he does.
In that case, he's going to attack the probe droid.
You sure about that?
No.
There's only 1 wound left on the Stormtrooper. You're
I'm
hoping
hoping
you
to
can
cleave him.
Got it.
Okay. Yes, we're attacking the probe droid.
Probe droid.
With a red and a yellow. And a green, because I am focused.
Got it. Wow. 5 damage and a surge. Goes down to 3 damage and a surge.
Okay.
And I assume
he has
the surge...
5 hit points?
He has 5 hit points.
Okay, so even if I used it for Pierce 1, I would only be doing 4.
Correct.
So
better to
I'll do
cleave
it
and
to
take out the
cleave
Stormtrooper.
and take out the Stormtrooper.
Yeah. Okay. Three damage on Probe Droido. Okay.
Mark's Spanish is amazing.
Hopefully you guys can see past this door here. That was your first action.
That was his first action.
Is that right?
Yes. For his second action, he will hit the probe droid again.
Okay. No longer with a green. Youch.
3 and a surge. So
Canceled the
just 3.
surge.
So probe
3
droid's
damage.
dead.
Probe droid blows up.
And that's why we bring the Wookiee.
Yeah.
And that ends his activation. So it's your turn.
Right. I guess I will activate... What did we say about moving through enemy spaces? Do you remember?
I don't think you can do it.
See, movement restrictions on page 8. Movement through figures. A figure can move into a space occupied by a friendly or neutral figure at no cost. A figure can move into a space occupied by a hostile, but spend an additional movement point to do so. So it's difficult terrain, essentially.
And obviously you can't plan to stay there. Wouldn't imagine.
Right. Okay, so he's going to move 1, 2... That's really stupid. We're not going to do that. Yeah, the reason I'm thinking about it is because he has gets to reroll a defense die when adjacent to a friendly, but I don't think it's worth it. So his attack is pretty good. He's going to attack the Wookiee. No, I'm going to go with the Stormtrooper first, who's also going to attack the Wookiee. I don't think the Stormtrooper's going to last this round.
I was going to say, it's almost like you think the Stormtrooper won't survive the round.
3 damage. -2. 1 damage.
1 damage. So that's not quite going to flip the Wookiee over yet.
Nope. 1 short. Okay. Up to you.
All right. Diala is going to move and then take 2 strain to attack the officer, removing 1 die from his defense pool, which is, I believe, the only die in his defense pool.
Okay.
And she will roll a green and a yellow on her plasteel staff.
No.
For 3 damage and a surge, but I think 3 will take him out.
It will. Yep. Should have attacked with him first. Because he had the focus, which would have been nice.
I'll tell you what.
Okay.
She could have gone here. Is that okay?
Yeah.
I wasn't clear on where the door is.
Yeah.
She'll be right up against the door.
Okay. So he's dead. I'm done.
She's done with her activation.
I have
Red,
no
darn you.
activations left.
All right.
So feel free to kill the Stormtrooper.
Yeah, I think the Bothan is going to go first.
Mm-hmm.
He rolls 2 blue. For 2 damage. And he'll attack again.
For 1 damage. Plus a surge.
Which will do an additional damage.
Okay, dead. Alright.
Okay. He's done his job. The smuggler is going to move up. Is this a terminal, I assume?
It is a terminal.
That's interactable. So she'll move here and interact with that terminal.
Okay. The goal is not to interact with the terminals. It's locked out. You can't interact with it.
Boo. Okay. So, do I just start over?
Well, you have an alternative to interacting with it.
Oh, I could just blow it up.
Yeah.
Okay. Does attempting to interact with it use my turn?
I'm going to say no because... I don't know.
I will blow it up.
Okay. Attack, please.
Okay. She'll shoot it with her pistol in traditional Star Wars fashion. For 2 damage and a surge.
Okay.
Which will be a 3rd damage, I guess. It has some kind of DR, I assume.
It has a single damage of reduction, essentially. Yeah.
1 DR. Got it.
Okay.
Okay, so...
so is that the end
top
of the round?
Of the round.
Okay, round 3. 2 more. I don't believe I have anything I can do.
I'm going to walk the Wookiee up here.
Okay.
And recover.
Okay.
So he recovers his endurance.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then the smuggler is going to shoot the computer again.
Okay. Okay, computer blows up.
Okay.
That's 1.
And then she gets to jump a space.
Okay.
And she will use her second activation to open the crate.
Right, which is equipment cards, which I have not shuffled.
In typical Fantasy Flight style, there are 14 different sizes of cards with this game.
2 different sizes of cards.
It's like 14.
Yeah.
Okay, I got an emergency med pack.
Well, that's nice.
Put this over here with Jin because I assume she's carrying it right now.
Right, correct. And you get this token, which gives you money at the end of the mission.
Oh, excellent. Discard this card after you rest. You or an adjacent friendly figure recovers 5 damage.
Nice.
Which would have been helpful if the Wookiee had been carrying it a minute ago. Okay. So, that was her activation.
For what it's worth, you do lose equipment gained that way at the end of the mission.
So I may as well use it.
Right.
Okay. The Bothan... what does it take to pass a piece of equipment from person to person?
Cannot be traded to different heroes.
All right.
So she would have to be adjacent to him and rest.
Right.
And then he could get the benefit.
Which is fine. It's just interesting to know.
Yeah.
Okay. Bothan guy will move up.
It also helps that I'm getting a feel for where the rules are.
Right.
Whoa, difficult terrain.
Where did he start? Here?
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome.
And he may as well... He's got nothing to do with the second.
Has the Jedi gone yet?
No, she hasn't. She's going to rest.
Okay.
Yeah, and then pass.
Okay.
Because nobody wants to open a door at the end of the round.
All right. Turn 4.
All right, Jin is going to go first.
Okay.
She's going to move here and then rest, recovering 5 damage from her Wookiee friend.
Got it.
And discarding our emergency med pack.
Okay.
And then what the hell? Diala's like, dude, I'm tired of waiting. I'm opening this door.
Okay, door opens. They're here, the Imperial forces shout as they scramble their defenses. Keep them away from the transmitters. There's a crackle from your comlink. Imperial forces on approach. Your pilot contacts you from your transport, now circling overhead. The place is going to be crawling with them soon, so get the job done quick. And...
oh no, an E-web. Apparently they've just been playing poker in the back while their buddies out front are getting shot.
Pretty much. Okay. So that was your first action.
Uh-huh.
Second action?
Oh, she has a reach weapon. I always forget that. She will go there.
Okay.
And then is it your turn?
I believe it is. The E-web will go. Can I have the blue dice, please? Alright. He gets to attack twice, unlike most enemies. So he is going to shoot the Wookiee.
Everybody hating on the Wookiee.
That is 4 damage.
Ouch.
That is one damage.
1 damage.
Okay. That is 3 damage and 2 surges. Is 2 damage and 2 surges. 1 surge adding a damage, so that is back to 3 damage and 2 surges. So he's back to 12 damage, right? Yeah. Because he's at 9 plus 3. And his second surge doesn't do good.
And that will totally enrage Garkon, who will take a focus token.
Okay.
All right.
You're up.
Speaking of the Wookiee.
He hasn't gone yet. You're correct.
Right. He's going to charge, so he'll take 2 strain.
Oh,
That's what he
he's
does.
Courageous.
Yeah, he is. He fears nothing.
Okay.
And he's going to smack the E-web.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know why I picked up green. He does a yellow, a red, and a green because he's focused.
Two damage and
2
a
damage
surge.
and a surge. He'll use that for a pierce, so that'll be 3 damage.
Okay.
And then for his second action, he'll do the same, but he loses a green die because he's no longer focused. Black, nothing.
Nothing.
Too bad.
Yep. Alright, Stormtroopers. Move 4.
Keep in mind your red terrain there.
Indeed. Which
That's
is
gonna be impassable.
1, 2, 3, 4.
As it happens, the poker room was not designed for quickly getting out of.
Yeah, it's a problem. You know what? He's not going to go first. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, Wookiee. We are going to just keep pounding on you today. That's 2 damage and a surge. 2
Yes, sir.
damage. That has him at 14, so he flips.
Okie dokie.
Right?
Right.
His surge does not, or his strain does not clear. His
Correct.
damage does.
So on his backside, he is down to endurance 3, speed 3.
Okay.
Otherwise, he seems about the same.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. Still on the Wookiee. Defense. 3 damage. 2 damage and a surge, so that goes up to 3 damage. I have picked the wrong person to be my primary target because he's got all the life in the world. But
massive threat. That's all I'm saying.
and last Stormtrooper, 1, 2, 3, 4, who has line of sight, so he'll take it. Don't you agree? Line of sight from bottom corner to 2.
Yeah, I suppose he does.
Yeah, rolling well today. Youch. Okay, or not. That's 1 damage. Oh, he doesn't get 2 shots.
Oh.
Okay, so that's my activation.
What about this guy in the... Oh, right.
He's an
a
Imperial
Stormtrooper.
Okay.
All right. Cool.
It's an interesting strategic question that the E-Web with a surge can recover damage.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a thought of, okay, maybe the E-Web shouldn't have shot first, so it could have used a surge to recover damage, but then you're always thinking, there's also a chance it won't get to shoot if it doesn't shoot.
And it's so dangerous, you just want to go ahead and use the attack when you have it.
Yeah, I mean, my guys go down quick, so... I'm making a second mistake.
What are the chances that I could shoot at range 5 on 2 blue dice? Decent.
Decent. I would
Pretty
think decent. Yeah.
I'm going to try it.
So who's this? The sniper?
Mukesh Eshke-Ray.
Okay.
Range is good.
And he does 1 damage plus 2 surge.
Awesome. So we'll use 1 for damage and 1 for pierce?
That kills it.
Yes, awesome. See, you were correct in using the E-Web during its precious few moments on
Yeah, it should have gone...
Yavin 4.
I wonder if the Stormtroopers... Well, the Stormtroopers wouldn't have gotten a shot if they'd gone first. Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough question. Alright.
Alright. Way to go, Mukesh-Ray. He is going to go ahead and move up because he won't have a shot next turn.
Right.
And I believe he will from here at this Stormtrooper. Is that your...
No, because from this corner you can't draw
I'm sorry,
the
you
second
only
corner.
get the 1 corner. Alright.
So from here he would.
Yes, alright. We'll go there.
Okay. Don't forget you do have a terminal here.
Yeah, he can shoot it from there, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and use his extra step because it might become an issue. And then you do your officer.
We'll go 1, 2, 3 as his move, and then give an order to a friendly figure within 2 spaces to move. And that'll be that.
Okay. And I believe she already acted. Maybe she didn't. Is it possible?
Her flipped. Yeah, she moved up and healed the Wookiee at the beginning of the round, and then you opened the door.
Great.
So yeah, that's the end of the round. Turn 5. You're first.
Oh, yes. Yes, I am. Alright. It's Wookiee time. He can't he can't charge, which is really just too bad. But he can still step up and make a Stormtrooper have a bad day. So he's going to do that. He's going to hit this one right in front of him.
Sure.
Which may or may not be a mistake. But we'll go with it. He's rolling a red and yellow. For 4 damage.
For 1 damage.
For 1 damage. That was lame. Not even a cleave. Your Stormtroopers have been rolling great resistances.
Yeah, they have.
And
as it happens, the black die actually has better resistances on it. It resists damage better, but the white die gives the dodge, which completely invalidates the attack. So I suspect what they're trying to say is that Stormtroopers are tougher, but less dexterous. Right. This also has more surge prevention. This, in fact, has 1 out of 6 sides that prevents surges. So, all right.
Your turn.
Right. Stormtroopers. So, he's going to shoot from where he is. At DL. I haven't been paying attention to one of my 2 mission victory conditions. 2 damage.
Alright. We'll take it this time.
He's going to step back. Wounded guy is going to step to here. And shoot at Diala. 4 damage. 3 damage. And then last guy is going to step 1, 2, and shoot Diala.
He's very brave, ducking under a Wookiee like that.
I'm sorry, I kind of touched that die. Do you want to counter? Do you want to reroll?
It's
okay,
fine.
So that's 2 damage. Right. That's the Stormtroopers.
Okay. Diala is going to attack the wounded Stormtrooper because she has reach on her weapon.
She does. Right. And what did they say about line of sight on reach?
I wouldn't imagine it would have any line of sight penalties.
I think you might be wrong. You must have line of sight to the target.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
And you don't.
Fine.
Nice try, though.
Okay, in that case, instead of activating Diala, we will activate Mac
Okay.
and shoot the nearest Stormtrooper
Okay.
with 2 blues. He's only 4 or 3 spaces away, which is too bad.
Would you have a benefit from having them further away?
Does the console block line of sight? Because if so, I don't believe that Stormtrooper can see him. Oh yeah, he can. Never mind. Doesn't matter. Okay.
Yeah, you can.
2
That's a good question.
damage. Oh, but it... Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. No, it does have range. Range is good.
2 damage.
Awesome. And he'll try it again. For 1 damage and 2 surges.
So 2 surges,
So just 2
which
surges,
I assume is
which
enough
will
to
do
get through.
2 damage. Yeah. Okay.
So the consoles don't have an entry. Maybe they're not called consoles?
Doesn't matter. Terminals, I think, is what we're calling them.
Well, I think there's an interesting question of whether it's passable terrain and stuff. No inherent abilities and functions described in the mission rules. Do not block line of sight or movement.
Oh, fascinating. I didn't know you could walk on computers.
But you can. Alright, so my officer is going to go 1, 2, 3, now that we know that we can stand on top of consoles, and attack the Wookiee because that's the only person he has to attack. And I don't see any benefit in ordering a Stormtrooper to move, so I'm not even going to bother. So I'm attacking with a red and yellow on the Wookiee. Defense?
Oh, sorry. Zoned out.
Hello. 3 damage.
3 damage on the Wookiee. Alright. Unfortunately, on his flip side, he loses his rage ability.
Oh, really?
Which is sad.
Interesting. Okay, so that's my officer. You're up.
Alright, so you're tapped out, right?
I am.
So, Diala is going to attack the wounded Stormtrooper now that Mac has moved the other guy out of line of sight.
Yes, she does have line of sight now.
Hang on. I'm not going to take the strain. It's fine. 2 and a surge. Yikes!
So, nada?
You're stunned.
Why am I stunned?
Because of the surge.
Oh.
Yep, she stuns on a surge.
Clever.
Yeah. And then we'll hit you again for fun. Two
That
damage,
killed
no surge. And he's stunned and then dead.
Stunned and dead.
I'm not sure you should be able to roll a defense die while stunned.
I think that you have to argue that Stormtroopers are defending not with their
mostly
amazing
by
dexterity,
standing
but
there?
mostly by
Alright.
standing there and
Certainly-
flipping the armor handles in.
Certainly not with their peripheral vision.
Right. So I'm out. So you've got your last guy.
Yes, I do. All right. She got kind of left out in the cold by how things went. She's going to move up 1, 2, 3, 4, and then actually have line of sight. But instead, we're going to shoot the console
Okay.
because the chances of her pistol hitting at that range, I don't believe, are very good.
Okay.
She will do 2 damage, 3 damage to the console.
Okay.
Okay. That's
All right.
everything.
Turn 6. Alrighty. Sue, you're first.
I'm going to attempt to be clever by moving the Wookiee to here and hitting the Stormtrooper.
Okay.
Red and yellow. He gets 3 in a surge. So that's 1 in a surge, but so that'll be 2.
Yeah.
Because he will use the Pierce on that.
Okay.
That's his activation.
Stormtrooper has line of sight to Diala still.
Mhm.
We'll shoot Diala. Defense. Hey, there you go. Dodged.
So that's the symbol that just completely negates the attack.
Correct.
All right. Bam.
All right, that's my Stormtrooper.
Use the Force already.
You know what? It's not. He's gonna go to here.
Okie dokie.
He doesn't want to get shot anymore. It's not fun.
It's sort of his
You know
job.
what? That's not actually where he's gonna go because now he's blocking line of sight. So we'll go to here. It's like 1, 2. Yep, it's got that. Oh, and still, he still has line of sight.
Sorry?
He still has line of sight to Diala if he needed it
Right.
from this corner.
Yes. Dial is going to step up and smack the Stormtrooper again.
Okay.
Yeah. She gets a green. Good roll.
Extra 2 surges.
So she'll stun him,
Stun.
and you'll absorb all the damage.
Done.
Okay.
So that's me.
Yes.
Having no other targets other than the Wookiee, I'm going to shoot the Wookiee. Ugh. Terrible. Well, I will focus. And I presume that adding to the damage then just is soaked by your defense.
That's how we've been playing it.
So, nada.
Okay.
And
Wookiee rides again.
he won't bother moving because there's nowhere to move to. Okay, so your 2 shooties.
All right. Little Shooty Jr. is going to shoot that console again.
Okay. That'll do it.
And she did more damage or so she gets to move for free
Okay.
over to here, where she will then use her second action to open that crate. She's the smuggler, so it seems only appropriate she gets to open all crates.
Yep. Adrenal stem.
Discard this card during your activation to choose yourself or an adjacent friendly figure. The chosen figure recovers 3 strain and becomes focused. Exciting.
Nice. Okay, so she's flipped, right?
Yes.
And then final.
Right, because your officer is gone, even
Yes,
though you didn't
yes.
have him. Okay. Yeah. Mac Eshka just needs to try to find a shot somewhere. 2, 3, 4.
And he has one.
Ah, exciting.
Does he not? I believe he does. To the Imperial officer?
Yeah. From this near corner
Yeah.
to both front
Yeah,
corners?
I'm pretty sure.
All right. Actually, I think he's got line to 3 quarters, so that's overkill. So, he shoots with 2 blue.
Have the white die.
I suppose.
Nothing.
Not a great roll. That'll be 4 damage.
Toast.
Awesome.
Okay. So that's the end of turn 6. As it happens, also the end of the mission.
Oh no!
Imperial soldiers pour out of the forest on all sides. The beacon has done its job, and you have to run. With so many of the Imperial survivors getting organized, rebel ground troops are going to have their hands full.
Alas, we failed the mission.
So I then give you story mission card Under Siege and place it into play for our next mission, our next story mission.
The distress beacon covered the escape of several prominent Imperials, including the man who concocted the scheme, a general named Weiss. While rebel spies scour the galaxy in search of any information about this man, other efforts to slow the Empire's recovery in the aftermath of the Battle of Yavin continue.
Indeed. Okay, so that's the mission. As it happens, at the end of round 6, it ended.
I see that.
So, it's an interesting mechanism, because it wasn't until you opened the door and your guy yelled,
Right.
hurry up. And at that point, we were already at the end of turn 3 or beginning of turn 4, and I was like, there's no way you're going to destroy the rest of the consoles in 3 turns.
Right.
Because you took your time going through the door. It's exactly what I would have done.
Well, I mean, I learned that from XCOM.
Yeah,
Never
exactly.
open a door.
Unless you're set.
Like,
yeah.
make sure you've reloaded all your weapons and taken all your health
Right, and I think that
mats
they tried to indicate, with there just isn't time for a subtle approach at the beginning,
Right.
that you were in a hurry, but obviously having not played the game before, it never even occurred to you that there'd be a turn limit.
I mean, I figured it was a possibility, but without any way to know what it was,
Yeah.
it was hard to know how to balance losing characters.
Right. My other end of mission criteria was wounding all of your characters, which is why I was like, I'm putting like 4 wounds on the Wookiee's
Right.
who's already wounded. I should be shooting someone else.
Right. All right. Well,
So do we want to? I guess next time we can go through the process of choosing the side mission, because next time, and leveling up and spending XP and all that sort of thing.
right.
All right. So there we go. Finished
Yeah.
our first mission.
I would be interested to try this one again, knowing what I know now. I
Although
think
that sort of defeats the purpose.
Well, yes and no. I mean, it would still be an interesting tactical exercise.
Yeah, it would.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in.
Bye-bye.
We'll see you the next time we get a chance to game.